27 and you're still living in your mother's house. Pull the table in, taking medicine to reach out. Feel the walls caving around you now. Thought at 22 I'd be able to figure shit out. You could save him, you got what you wanted, so why you complaining? A penny for them, love, it's expensive stuff. I only borrow, get back when I've had enough. Talk of therapies, putting me to sleep, I can't leave. And then in my dream you're in front of me, saying nothing. I never know what's turning inside your mind. How you're managing to say so little in so much time. You could save him, you got what you wanted, so why you complaining? A penny for them, love, it's expensive stuff. I only borrow, get back when I've had enough. But it wasn't love, it wasn't love. Couldn't have been if you already given up. It wasn't love, it wasn't love.
You have been listening to Pixie Cut Rhythm Orchestra. I didn't love you when I said I did, and I don't now. So there.
It's impressive.
Was that right, wasn't it?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. And why did you write that song?
I wrote that song because I just got to a point where I was fed up of stupid people annoying me.
Oh, I don't like the way you're looking at me, Sarah.
Well, you haven't done anything.
Tell me about the Pixie Cut part of the band's moniker.
It just kind of came from the empowerment of cutting off all your hair, basically.
Yeah. Right.
That's the way.
A bit like what's going on in Iran at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's like a feminist.
Are you guys politically motivated at all?
Not enough to cut my hair.
No.
No. Yeah, I guess.
Well, I was telling you, we do hand out awards, and you get the funky hair award, Danny.
Thanks.
Definitely goes to you.
It's gone on the shelf.
Yeah. My granddaughter was in earlier. She didn't like it.
No, I know she didn't like it.
She doesn't
That's
like it
okay.
much. You were working on tunes during lockdown?
Yeah, wrote
all
a lot
over
of
Ireland,
new
various
songs.
different spots.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of songs in Mayo during lockdown, and then recorded in Clare, Kilkenny, Drogheda and Dublin.
Why?
That's a good
You've
question.
gone to every studio except mine. You're just trying to rub it in now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you do full songs in each studio, or did you do like backing tracks in one and then guitars in another?
That single was done in Ansley House. Everything was done there. It was like, that was it,
Yeah.
yeah. And then drums and
That's a
bass
venue.
were
Is
down
it-
in
is it
Kilkenny.
a studio as well?
Upstairs is the studio, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Those guys have just taken over and on.
Yeah, so the studio, we were recording in Ansley in the beginning, and then lockdown happened, and because it's above a pub, we had to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
But now we're back there.
I'd say most of that was because of Danny.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
pints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep her away from the Guinness. Bad for the timekeeping. Is it nearly ready? Is it going to be mastered?
It is in the final stages of recording, so
Right,
hoping
vocals,
to,
mixing,
yeah, and we're getting strings as well.
strings and
So,
things.
Yeah,
It's
full
impressive.
orchestra.
Right. That'll be difficult on the road. But you could trigger it.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you're thinking? Or keep it bass, drums and guitar?
We keep it guitars mostly, and then we might bring strings for special gigs, just.
I think it's really difficult to get those guys, isn't it?
It is, yeah, we
Yeah.
can't really afford them either.
Right, okay. Gigs coming up?
Yeah, we have a residency in Ansley House in Fairview.
Cool.
Next gig, December 9th. And then,
This will be going out probably early 23,
oh yeah,
so around February. Anything planned for 23 gig-wise?
we're playing St. Patrick's Festival in Collins Barracks on the 18th of March.
Oh, nice one. Great. I think I shall go to that. Dan Hegarty's favourite track of 2020. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dan's great, he's a legend.
I wrote down Anti-Valentine's Letter. Was that the name of the track he liked, or did I just make up something and write it down?
Yeah, so we released that song on Valentine's Day because it's kind of a anti-Valentine's Day track. It's
Yeah.
an anti-love sort of sentiment to it. So
Myself and my wife never celebrated Valentine's.
No,
Never.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
I'm not allowed to curse.
That's the best that you can if you like. But, right, okay. We will have more from Pixie Cut Rhythm Orchestra a little bit later on in the show. But the special guest today is Kez.
Can you not see the broken bridge between your body and your soul? 'Cause you're shaking in the morning light, hands twisting under evening skies. I see a boy look out from your eyes. You hear demons in sweet lullabies. Can you not see the light that flickers as you speak? 'Cause you're shaking in the morning light, hands twisting under evening skies. All the pain that you hold inside, did it ever make you feel alive? 'cause you're shaking in the morning light, hands twisting under evening skies. Green bottles take you through the night, Hail Marys by your bedside. Can you not see the lonely man that stands in front of me? Here's a shoulder to rest your head, lips to tell you that you're loved. There's a stillness in my open hand, it'll lead you to a quiet land.
Nice one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You room for two in the amplifier?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. That was a lovely song.
Thank you very much.
What's it called?
How Can You Not See?
How Can You Not See?
Yeah.
Cool. And what have you been up to?
I'm currently working on an album.
Yeah.
And yeah, just been heads down doing that. So
Great. So 23, we'll see a new Kes album?
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, marvellous.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
The miracle of radio and television, we don't always shoot things in sequence, and that is the case today on our final programme of the series. In the credits that you'll see in about 10 minutes, there's a glaring omission, and that is Danilo Sombrano, who's over there. I'm so sorry I missed you, so I'm apologising in advance. OK, next section is Tips and Tricks. This is Linda Coogan-Byrne. Hello, Linda Coogan-Byrne. How are you?
Hello, Andrew Bass.
You
I'm
look
good, I'm
magnificent.
good. How are you doing?
I'm a bit of a head cold, but I'm all right. I'm all right. What part of the world are you in at the moment?
I'm in southern Spain. I'm in about an hour outside Seville. This is where I'm based here, but I work between here, London, Portugal, and Dublin.
You get around, Linda.
Get around, digital nomad.
So apart from being on the Arts Council and being a music consultant, you are the owner of the excellent Good Seed PR company.
Yes, we've been going, Jesus, over 16 years now. So you feel old when you kind of think back, you know. I mean, Jesus, when I saw you there last week, it was a good 10 years, I'd say, since we last seen each other.
And the time speeds up as you get older. So if you feel old, I feel really old. Okay, so tips and tricks. What is the first thing you would say to new young talent?
I'd say look at your work, your creativity, your flow, anything that you do in music as a business. Musicians don't do that. They look at it, they still kind of, I think a lot of musicians struggle from it being a hobby to it transitioning to being a business. And they don't look at it in that way. So it kind of falls a little bit flat. So I think, look at it as a business, have a blueprint and go from there, you know.
Yeah, cool, right. Second tip?
Oh God, be savvy on the internet, online, everything. I mean, look at what happened in COVID. If you're not clued in on digitization of music and, you know, equipped to deal with that, I don't think you're going to go very far in music. I think having an innate understanding on platforms such as, TikTok, which is after taking the music industry by storm, Instagram, Twitter is more like the office place for a lot of music industry people, but it still is very relevant to kind of get your wares about it, your understanding of how to use it. And Facebook, I think they're all very relevant. And we've seen over COVID how people would have migrated from, the lack of live gigs to putting live podcasts, live, gigs, live, streaming and stuff. And I think, a lot of bands thought, oh, what's the point? But there's always a point, because everything that you do is about engaging with your fans. Yeah. And if you don't do that in the right way, I think you're going to lose out on a lot.
Treat the business as a business and get a handle on digital media. What's your final tip or trick?
I think, a lot of artists, when they're thinking of branding, of design, of even what they sound like, and going in and working with a producer, look to who you listen to, who you look up to. We all have a band or a person or a colleague or whatever that we look up to, and we want to mirror them. It's a basic human instinct to look towards who's succeeding and to kind of go, oh, that would be cool if I was that successful, or if I was similar to this person. So I think, mirror, look up to people, this whole competition, especially the music industry, of having to be better than each other. That's nonsense. We should all want to succeed. We should all want to help each other. So I think a tip that will really last, and you see this as well with a lot of, I worked with Alison Moyet, and a lot of 80s bands, and, obviously Alison was in Yazoo, and then I worked with Suggs from Madness and Duran Duran. And I remember them all kind of getting together, and a lot of them were actually even in the same school as each other. And we were doing a TV show, and we were all kind of backstage, and we were chatting, and I was kind of sitting there listening to this conversation they were having. And they said, Linda, we were all in the same class. There was a few of us, about 3 or 4 of us in the same class, Gary Newman and stuff. And I said, geez, that would have been some crack. And she said, yeah, we all supported each other, though. There wasn't this competition. Yeah. So I think if you want to, elevate each other, support each other, when someone else rises and they support it, they rise together, so lift each other up. I think that's a really, really important thing that a lot of people don't consider. They just want to be better than someone else. But if you look up to someone and you do it in the right way, and, you'll never know, they might help you in return. I mean, when I started out in PR, I worked with so many bands that I never thought I would ever meet, like when I was younger, but it transpired. I say the likes of Eleanor, Mary Black, Sinead O'Connor, and then the bigger bands, The Prodigy, like in terms of international and stuff. And it's just, if there's anything is possible if you just kind of connect with people on a human and a personal level.
Yeah, so as an aside there, I suppose tips and tricks for a young artist. Have you tip or trick for somebody in PR? Like, how did you get all those big names?
I had a vision board, Andrew.
Really?
I read loads of self-help books and had a vision board. No, I was lucky. I worked my ass off, but I was very lucky in the sense that when I left school, I studied as a luthier, which is someone that makes Renaissance stringed instruments. And I moved to Galway, and I ended up meeting a lot of very famous people in that job. I remember Woody Harrelson came in one day, and he bought this Millennium Tree guitar, and just loads of different celebrities, like from musicians to movie stars to authors. And I just kind of went, this is really cool. And then I got in with different record labels and different people along the way, because I was in bands myself. And yeah, I think when you connect with people and you build, again, personal relationships, you can kind of, you think you're going to go one direction, but other career opportunities open themselves up. And all it took was kind of getting in with a lot of music industry people. And I really veered towards that, as opposed to getting up on a stage and singing. And I just found that was my niche more. It was kind of like, I really like this. I like the business side. So that's how I meandered my way in from, being surrounded by people in the media to becoming a person in the media, so that's how it kind of happened.
Well, I suppose, you're probably pretty damn good at what you do. If you're working for Alison Moyet and she says to her mates in Duran Duran, check out Linda, it'll sort of have a domino effect.
Yeah. Again, and it's one thing that And Alison actually studied as a luthier as well. And nobody knew this in the entire, like her whole crew were there. And she said, oh, I used to make pianos. I studied as a luthier. And she said, Linda studied as a luthier as well. So it was funny, you know. And I said, that's mad. She said, yeah, I actually ventured out into that world first. And then I discovered I could sing. And then she just followed that road. So, you know, again, you set up as, you kind of have intentions on one thing and then life takes you a different direction. But it's all within the realm of music because there's so many areas in the music industry that we can evolve into and meander in and out of, and you can do loads of different aspects of it as well, you know.
Brilliant. Linda Coogan-Byrne, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks a million for having me. It was a joy to catch up and to chat to you.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Linda Coogan-Byrne. Sarah, what advice would you give young talent?
I think in this day and age, it's important to stay true to being authentic to yourself, and if you've started out with a message in your music, to keep that message there. And I think that the album is a good statement of that as well.
Okay, nice one. What's the album going to be called?
Thinking of calling it Limerence.
Limerence.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that mean?
It's kind of like when you think you're in love, but you're not.
Right.
Your brain's playing a trick on you.
Okay.
Cruel trick.
Good title. And it's on your own record label?
Yeah, we're going to release it on Anon Records, which is a label / collective that was formed in an antique shop on Francis Street in Dublin.
As you do.
As you do, yeah.
How did... yeah.
It came about from just me and a group of people wanting to put out our own music, but being confused as to how to go about it, and we wanted to do it in a way that felt authentic to us. And there's all these rules, you know.
Okay.
We just ignore them all.
Great.
Do it our own way.
You release music for other people as well?
Yeah, so the other artist on the label at the moment, I can't actually say the name because it's not PG.
Right.
But we are working on putting out compilations and stuff like that. It's all taken a long time,
sort of
but
punk ethos, do it
yeah,
yourself.
it's a DIY punk sort of label.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming out. Before we play the final song, I have to run through a few credits for people who worked on the show. Mr. Ian Wilson, fearless leader, there he is over there. Ian's around for years, everybody knows him. Leslie Kane, project manager, production manager, did basically everything else, would have fallen apart. Janko Genov, award-winning Bulgarian sound engineer. Man's a genius. Alba Fernandez, cinematographer. Thank you very much, Alba. Camera operators, Jacob Bayurski, Sophie O'Donovan, Caitlin Markham O'Halloran, Niall at Woodpark stitched everything together, and our commissioning editor on 2XM is Sarah Garvey. So what is the name of the final song?
Empty Envelope.
Okay. Pixie Cut Rhythm Orchestra, Empty Envelope.
Nervous energy floats like a memory. said